In his book, Mastery, Robert Greene tries to debunk the myth of talent and to show that there are proven steps anyone can take to achieve mastery in any discipline. This can be achieved by analyzing the paths of some of history's most famous masters, such as Da Vinci, Einstein, Edison, and many others. Not only does the book explain Greene's own approach to master the craft of writing, but also the path world-renowned masters seem to have taken to master their crafts. To make his point, and he sure does, Robert Greene uses a number of historical figures as examples. The whole book is based on the belief that the skill to mold the material into what we want must be learned and attentively cultivated. But it's the same with that type of artistic activity as with all others. We're merely born with the capability to do it. This book is about sculpting your mind and your life in the pursuit of mastery, becoming the best in a craft, emulating the best practitioners in all fields throughout history. So many of us imagine that creativity and brilliance just appear out of nowhere, the fruit of natural talent, or perhaps of a good mood or an alignment of the stars. This couldn't have been farther from the truth. This book offers immense help to clear up this myth, to examine some of its roots, to define the actual kinds of intelligence that lead to mastery, and to understand how it can be manufactured and maintained. Greene defines mastery as that feeling we have a greater command of reality, other people, and ourselves. And even if we tend to have this feeling at times after cracking a game or fixing a computer, it's only temporary and fades away after a couple of hours or days. Whereas for the masses of different fields, it becomes their way of life, their way of seeing the world. Robert Greene studied many masters like Leonardo da Vinci, Charles Darwin, Thomas Edison, and Martha Graham, among many, many more, and he was able to discover that at the root of mastery is a simple process, one that is easily accessible to all of us. We enter a new field with excitement, but also fear about how much there is to learn ahead of us. The greatest danger here is boredom, impatience, fear, and confusion. Once we stop observing and learning, the roads towards mastery comes to a standstill. If we manage these emotions and keep pushing forward, we start to gain fluency, and we master the basic skills allowing us to take on bigger and better challenges. Eventually, we move from student to practitioner. We use our own ideas and experiments, getting feedback in the process. We start to use our own style. Then as we continue for years, we make the leap to mastery. We develop an intuitive sense of the skill and have mastered it to the point of being able to innovate and break the rules. Greene then came up with practical strategies for attaining mastery. Connect to your environment, primal powers. The ability to connect deeply to your environment is the most primal and in many ways the most powerful form of mastery the brain can bring us. Play to your strength, supreme focus. Mastery is like any other skill. It is too difficult to move forward when you're creating your own resistance. Know your strength and move with them. Transform yourself through practice, the fingertip feel. If we're learning a complex skill, we must master a series of simple skills, one on top of the other. Each time one skill becomes automatic, the mind is freed up to focus on the higher one. At the very end of this process, when there are no more simple skills to learn, the brain has assimilated an incredible amount of information, all of which has become internalized, part of our nervous system. Internalize the details, the life force. Seeing your work as something alive. Your path to mastery is to study and absorb these details in a universal fashion to the point at which you feel the life force and can express it effortlessly in your work. Widen your vision, the global perspective. In any competitive environment in which there are winners and losers, the person who has the wider, more global perspective will prevail. The reason is simple. Such a person will be able to think beyond the moment and control the overall dynamic through careful strategizing. Submit to the other, the inside-out perspective. We can never really experience what other people are experiencing. We always remain on the outside looking in, and this is the cause of so many misunderstandings and conflicts. Synthesize all forms of knowledge, the universal man or woman. In any way possible, you should strive to be part of the universalizing process, extending your own knowledge to other branches, further and further out. The rich ideas that will come from such a quest will be their own reward. This is a fantastic book on sculpting your mind and your life in the pursuit of mastery, becoming the best in a craft, emulating the best practitioners in all fields throughout history. The general ideas are solid and hold up, and the stories Robert Greene used are as inspiring as the premise of the book. This book is more along the lines of following your passion while not forgetting the effort, dedication, and deliberate practice it takes to get there.